Hi, this is Kristi from My Quilting Loft. How are you? Welcome back. This third tries a charm, right? This is our third block that we're going to be doing for our sew along that we're doing in spring 2021. And as you know, we are all using this quick and easy block tool book, which is awesome. If you don't have it yet, you're going to need to get it. I have several in the store, so you can come on in and pick them up at My Quilting Loft or go to myquiltingloft.com. In the search bar, type in block tool, not backwards, but sorry about that. But yeah, just type that in the search bar and you can order that and I'll get it shipped right out to you so you can join in the fun. Okay. So now, as you know, before, the first block that we did was this one right here. This is the maple leaf block that we did. We made 4 of them, 9 inches a piece. And the churn dash block, we made 4 of them, 9 inches a piece. Easy peasy, right? Now this time we're going to be making this block right here. It's called Old Windmill, and we're going to make 4 of them, but this time we're making it 12 inches. So it's really fun. Well, just in case you're confused of this quilt behind me here, nope, that's not the one we're making. That's one that I'm making here because it's a lot of fun, but I thought you might like to see it. It's using the Perfect 10 pattern, and it is using the dance moves fabric from Free Spirit. It's super fun. Isn't that cool? I'm loving this. But yeah, that's not what we're making now. This is a mystery quilt, so you don't know what it is until we're all done. Make sure that you have at least 5 yards of fabric for the blocks, and you're going to need at least 3 yards of fabric for your background. Now, word has it that some of you are using some of your background fabric in your blocks, which is totally fine, but you're going to need more than 3 yards of it because the 3 yards is calculated on where I'm using it, and that's not in any of my blocks. The sizes that it tells you to cut the fabric are fine and dandy if your 1/4 inch is perfect, but if you're like real people, it's best to just over guesstimate those sizes by a little bit. If it's a 7-inch size, then bump it up to the next whole number. If it is a 1/4 inch size, bump it up to the next 1/4, and then we can trim them down and get better accuracy. Does that make sense? Okay, I want you to take a look. These are the fabrics that I'm using here. I've got my A. My A is the yellow, the B is the pink, and the purple is my C fabric. Now I have them already cut to the specifications that it says in the book to cut them. And then I'm going to give them a trim. Now these guys, I'm going to cut diagonally in half, just like that. Easy peasy, right? I know some of the other blocks we didn't cut ahead of time. We sewed and then we cut, but this time we're actually going to cut first, and you'll see why. Okay, so line up that ruler, and if you have that quilter select ruler, it's not going to scooch on you while you're trying to sew, while you're trying to cut. Line that all up, cut that, set those aside. You'll have 4 of these triangles now. Do these guys, you're going to want to cut those, and since you're cutting them the same, go ahead and stack them up there on top of each other, just like that. Get them nice and straight on top of each other, and then you're going to cut these guys this way and this way in 4ths. So from corner to corner, line up your quilter select ruler because it's the best because it doesn't scooch, and then you're going to want to go this way and cut this from this angle, and it's kind of a precarious angle there that I'm cutting at, but I did it. There was no bleeding involved. So there, just like that. And so then we're going to want to make sure and get these laid out according to the diagram. So just like this. Can we do it just like that? Okay. And then you're gonna repeat this 4 times. Now this isn't the block that you're gonna make 4 times. This is a 1/4 of a block that you're going to do 4 times. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sew these 2 bits together. Now be careful, because now this is a bias edge. You got a lot of bias edges here, so no manhandling the fabric. Just be really careful. So you're going to want to line these 2 up just like that. And then I like to take a pin right here where I'm going to be sewing. Oh, this pin is big and old. It's not very sharp. And then I'm going to do the same with the rest of these, because I'm going to just take them all to the machine and sew them all together. So make sure, see, this is, I'm going to sew here. So they don't get out of order. See, I put that pin on the side that I'm going to be sewing. That keeps things tidy. Just like that. And then we're going to take it to the machine. Now see here, you can see where I have my diagonal seam tape on there. I love that stuff. This is my 1/4 inch diagonal seam tape. This time I'm going to line my edge up with that black line right here, and that will tell me I've got a 1/4 inch. Pretty fancy, huh? Now you don't want to see how the machine wants to pull the fabric. I want to let it do that. I don't want to fight it, or it will distort my block. Line that right up there. Over here, I'm just gonna use my, I love my Quilter Select rotary cutter. Have I mentioned that? I love this thing. Just gonna trim these guys. Now what you could do, since you're making 4 of these blocks, you could go ahead and make 16 of this triangle set and just chain piece those all together and get them all done at once. But for video sake, I'm just going to make 1 block because I've already made 2 of them. This is actually my 3rd one. Okay, then you're going to want to take them over here, press to the dark side, but be careful, you don't want to manhandle this. And I would recommend you probably don't use steam, because you've got some bias edges that are loose on the loose there. So you want to be really careful. You don't want anything shrinking on you. And if you don't have one of these wool mats, you're going to want to get one. They're so great because they just do such a nice job of helping make sure that my seam is pressed nice and flat. I have some of these in, and then I also have some of this Dritz, my little bitty iron here. I have some of those in stock. And these are really great. They're just, they just fit your hand so nice. And they get really hot, which is awesome. But they also don't turn off automatically. Like some irons will turn themselves off if you forget to unplug them. These guys don't. So don't forget to unplug. That would be silly. And then what you're going to want to do is next thing we're going to want to do is trim that right there. Just trim those little dog ears. I think it's funny that they call them dog ears. I think they look more like cat ears to me. But they didn't ask me now, did they? Trim those off, because you know what? Otherwise you're going to end up with bulk in those seams, and you don't want that. Some people, and sometimes you can skip this part and it's really not a big deal. But in this block, do yourself a favor and trim off those cat ears. Okay, so are you following along okay? Everything making sense? Be sure that in the comments, you let me know if you have any questions, and I will make sure that I get back to those and answer those for you. Also, another great place to ask your questions is on our Facebook group. So go to My Quilting Loft on Facebook, and then from there, click on Join Group. And when you join the group, you'll become a member of My Quilting Loft community, which is a really fun place. Everybody's posting all the pictures of all of their blocks because everybody's using different fabric. It's really fun to see what everybody else is making. So make sure that you are doing that too. But it's also a great place to post your questions. And everybody, somebody will probably answer you before I do. And that's cool because, as long as you got your question answered. Okay, so next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to line these guys up just like the diagram. Let's see, this one goes here like that, goes here like that. This one comes over here like that. You get the idea. You see that? Okay. There. It's coming right along. See, now we're gonna sew these together. Let's fold this over. So that, repeat on this one and this one and this one. There we go. Maybe I better not flip that around or I might end up doing something I didn't want to do. There we go. We're going to sew here and press and then meet you right back here. Always take out your pins. You don't want to run over your pins. That would not be good for your needle. So now we're going to take this to the iron and set our seam. And then we're going to press it. Now, I always like to press to the direction that I have the least resistance. And so there's seam here, and this is just a one piece there. I'm going to press it that way. Feels like it will let it lay a little bit more flat that way. Okay, so now if you're making all 4 blocks at the same time, you'll have 16 of this unit ready to go. So next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to square them up. And I have this 6.5 inch square ruler from Quilter Select. Now, if you have not used a Quilter Select ruler before, you'll notice there's like some sort of a magic potion on the back that keeps them from sliding around. And so when I'm trimming these, you don't even need to use a rotating mat sometimes because this stuff on here just really is great. You to notice on here, can you see that okay? There we go. There's this line here, a 45-degree line here, and another 45-degree line right there. I want to line those up right on top of these. And put that, see where it says 45 right there? I want to put that right in the middle. And if everything goes right, if I put that right there, then I can trim these down to the exact right size. See, look at that. No rotating mat, and it stayed put. Cool trick, huh? There we go. Now I do have some of these 6.5 inch rulers in stock right now. And they are probably going to be used again in this quilt. I would bet money on it. Here's the next one. as you've noticed, I use a lot of things from Quilter Select because I just really like them. I mean, sometimes people think that maybe they cost a little bit more, but you know what? There are tools of the trade. And so if they're a little bit of a splurge, you're going to be so glad that you did because they're so worth it. I'm telling you what. I mean, ruler. This is a ruler here. This is not a ruler. This rotary cutter here, it's like heavy and it's awesome. And I'm a right-handed person, but if you're a lefty, these things switch really easy for lefties. And then the replacement blades, the Quilter Select replacement blades, worth it. Oh my gosh. All blades are not the same. I'm telling you what, they are not all the same. You're gonna love this thing. Quilter Select has rulers in just about every square size. Eventually you can just end up with a whole stack of all those tools of the trade and you will love them. And if I have, if there's a size that you want and I don't have it, you can just let me know because I just order it in. That's no big deal at all. As long as they have them in stock in the warehouse, I can usually get them within a week, 2 at the most. And I'm happy to do it. So you just got to let me know. And then, yeah, you can have all the sizes. Okay, let's see, there's this one. Make sure everything is still the way they're supposed to. Oh, that doesn't look right. There we go. That looks right. There we go. Oh, nope. Nope, wait. Look at my diagram. That goes there. See, I have my book open over here to the side for a reason, because it's really helpful. I'm telling you what. I tend to look at the yellow at this one to see where it's pointing. And when I do that, then I'm good to go. So now all we need to do is sew these two together, and then we'll sew these together and our block is done. Just gonna press that, put it back where it goes. Where does it go? Right there. Set that seam. Make sure that let's see, which way did I sew? Press that one. I pressed that one this way, press this one this way toward the one on the bottom. Try not to forget. I want it to go toward the one on the bottom. There we go. Sometimes it's easy to forget. You ever have that happen? Where you're like, I knew it 3 seconds ago. So see, now we're just gonna line these up. Now here is something important. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're nesting these seams right here. Those go together. And so I'm gonna put a pin on either side of those. And since I pressed them in opposite directions, they should fit right in there just fine. So I like to put a pin on either side of that and then a pin down here where those come together. And then another one over here. Now I'm thinking about pizza. The pizzas are so good. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna want you to notice right here. This is important. See where, oh, if I can, yep, where's the middle? Right about there. Okay, see where these seams intersect right there? I want to make sure I still have points, pointy points. I don't want to chop those off. So if I sew this side of where these guys intersect, I will lose that point. So I want to sew just maybe a thread that side of where this seam and this seam interact. There we go. So now we're going to press this open. Not press it open. That's actually a thing when you press your seams open. But see, look at that. Pointy points. Now, right here is a lot of seams coming together right there. So you can feel there's kind of it's a bulky spot right there. So maybe when you're ironing it, give it a little bit of extra muscle right there. Ow. Oh, I did some gardening yesterday. My hands are sore. So what do you think? Easy as that. This is the Old Windmill block and 12 inches, make 4 of them. All right. So that's it. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and then hit the little bell because it will notify you the next time I post a video, which should be soon because every 2 weeks I let you know what the next block is. And since this Saturday at our Facebook live sale, 10 o'clock Pacific time, every Saturday morning, make sure you're watching. Tell you what the next block is. And then if you do miss that, I'll forgive you. I'll still love you. I promise. You can go on our Facebook community page and I will post in there what the next block is. So until then, I will see you Saturday at 10. Well, you'll see me. I won't see you. You'll see me. It'll be on my Facebook Live and I'll see your name scroll by when you comment to order stuff. That's how I'll see you. All right. You have a wonderful day. Take care. Mwah. Bye.